Good morning, my fellow cruising daily wagers. As always, let me start off by saying I hope and pray this finds each and every one of your families doing well. All right, let's talk a little bit about one of the big things people are talking about on cruises as of late, and that is tipping. What are your thoughts? Obviously, the cruise line automatically charges you gratuities, which at a later date in the cruise you can actually take off if you want. Do you do that? Have you ever done that? Do you tip on top of that? Do you take off your automatic gratuities and then just tip personally? What do you guys normally do when you go on a cruise? I'll tell you, my wife and I, we really don't mess with the tips on there, but we do tip additionally. In other words, I know that when you go to a bar and grab a drink, or you're in the casino, which I am a lot, and we'll talk about that later on. Um, every time they bring me a drink, I usually give them $1 tip. I know that there's an 18% gratuity on top of what you charge off, but I do that. Maybe somebody can enlighten me and see if they actually do a tip pool at the end of it. Do they split that, or does that go straight to the person bringing you the drinks? Also, want to let you know and be full disclosure here. I usually get drinks on board for me and a companion everywhere on board the ship through my cruise specials when I cruise. So I'm not really not paying for the drink. I'm not paying for the drink per se. So I give it an extra dollar tip. And even if I was paying for it, I would generally pull out a dollar tip, give it to the whoever's bringing it to me. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? I've also heard people who go up to the bar and who are going to buy a drink, if they just sign their, or if the bartender or the waiter knows that they just sign it, they don't give a tip, and people are there with cash in hand, and they give the waiter or bartender $1, they get their drink first. Have you ever experienced that? Is that something that people actually do? I personally think that if somebody's at the bar, they're getting a drink and they give a tip, I don't, again, I'm not a bartender on there. I don't think they'd get priority if somebody was standing there for a while and wanted to get a drink, because you don't know if they're going to tip or not. But I've heard that as well. Also, room stewards. Big question here. Do you give your room stewards a tip at the end of the cruise, or do you just automatically assume that that gratuity that the cruise line has charged you is going to go to them? I've been told by different stewards that the post cruise survey is actually more important to them than the actual tips, as sometimes they really don't see them. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that if you mention their name, specifically their name, in a post cruise survey, that if they get so many of them, they get an extra day off, whether that's paid or not. I'm not sure, but they get an extra day off. They also get acknowledged, which is kind of nice when they do their post-cruise debriefs, I guess, with each department. So just your thoughts on tipping. Is it something you do? Is it something you don't do? Do you take them off? A lot of times people on the, I think, like, for instance, Carnival, on the Thursday or the second or third last day of the cruise, you can go up to guest services and take it off if you don't want. I know a lot of people have made comments about the type of people that are in those lines, which to me is just absolutely garbage. If you don't have good service, you want to take it off, then you go up to the line. But is that something you do? Have you ever done it? Have you heard about it, or is it just me? But wanted to get your feedback, your comments on there. What do you think about tipping? Do you do it extra? Do you take yours off and then give it out and dish it out to the different people? Another person that you interact with all the time, and that's each night in the main dining room, the MDR. Do you tip those waiters at the end of the cruise? They obviously know you by name. Most of you who have cruised know that they know what drink you want. If you want extra butter, extra bread, you like the soups, they'll come up to you. They'll personally acknowledge you and your wife, your family. You give them that little extra at the end of the cruise. Usually there's 3 of them: a head waiter, an assistant, and then you have their bread or drink person. What do you do as far as that? So, anyways, any and all feedback on tipping? What's your experience? What do you think? How do you handle it when you go on a cruise? And for all you new cruisers out there, just so you know, if you've never been on a cruise, the cruise line automatically charges you gratuities when you sign up for the cruise. On top of that, at the bottom of every time you get a bill, and what I mean by a bill, because you don't really pay cash on a cruise. Actually, you don't use your sail and sign card. On there, it says 18% gratuity, which is already included to the price that you're signing. So on top of that, you give a tip on top of that. So you'll see that when you go out cruising. But anyways, just wanted to open up the line of discussion, see what you guys think. I hope each and every one of you have a great day. Remember to be nice to one another. And as always, take care and God bless.